How to make your ex jealous. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to make your ex jealous. But before we get into this video, please leave a like on it and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Or if you have any tips and advice yourself. Thank you so much. Just quickly, I'm going to read out some quotes because I've been reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and I thought there was 2 quotes in there that would really help with someone who's in this kind of situation where they want to make their ex jealous of them. So the first quote is, "He does not even give a thought to what others will say or suppose about him, or do against him, but is content to meet these 2 conditions: his own integrity in each present action, and glad acceptance of his present lot." And the second quote is, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." So the first point that I want to get into on how to make your ex jealous is this: be silent and keep living your life on purpose. So what you want to be doing is you want to be just focusing on the things in your life that are really important to you. Stop focusing so much on your ex. And in that way, that may actually make them more jealous of you. Because if you are not really paying that much attention to them, if you're not bringing things up, if you're not talking about them, if you're not discussing them, and if you're just basically continuing living your life, then that's one of the best ways you can make your ex jealous, because especially if this is kind of like in the wake of a breakup and it's not been that long since you broke up. If you remain silent and you kind of remain as you were, basically, this will be quite confusing to your ex. So you want to be focusing on your present action with integrity. So that means like doing the right thing in your career and your other life choices. So sometimes a really good way to make your ex jealous is by just not focusing on them at all, and by focusing actually on the other areas that bring you a lot more meaning and make you feel, good and inspired. So this could be working on your passions, your hobbies. It could be working on a side business. It could basically anything that brings you a lot of inspiration and meaning that you could just do for hours and hours and hours, and also, with integrity. So these are things that are good for yourself and they're not things that are harming you in any way or other people in any way. In fact, it might be something that you're doing to actually help other people with certain areas that you might be more of an expert in. Because you kind of need to keep in mind, that your ex might be trying to do things to make you jealous. So you want to basically be the exact opposite of that. And we can go back to that quote by Marcus Aurelius, which is, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. So this goes into my next point, which is to never mention them to others or on social media unless asked. And if anyone does ask, be kind. Because, most people don't actually respond that way because of the emotions. So, for example, your ex will probably be kind of bitter towards you, because most people tend to be that way after a breakup. It's very rare that you find 2 people who are both kind of kind to each other after a breakup. There's usually one that is a bit more bitter, that kind of gossips about the other one. So basically, you don't want to be that one that is gossiping, that is, saying, bad-mouthing them to other people or on social media. You don't want to be doing any of that kind of thing. You want to be doing the exact opposite of it, and which is not talking about them at all unless asked. And when someone does ask about you, you can give a really positive, kind response. You can just say, yeah, well, we just weren't right for each other. That's all that it was. I don't hold any grudge against them. We just weren't right for each other. And that's kind of like the best response you can give to someone if someone is asking about your ex, especially if it's someone who knows your ex as well. Like, it could be like a mutual friend. They might just reach out to you and be like, oh no, what happened between you two? And then you can just say something like, we just weren't right for each other, really. I mean, I don't hold any grudge. We just weren't right for each other. That's all you need to say. That's all you ever need to say about any of your exes when someone asks about them. And it's probably even good to have that response when someone asks you about it who doesn't know them. Because if you say... Because the mind is kind of like a weird thing. In fact, there was a good quote. There was something I learned recently from The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. And that was not only treat others as you would wish to be treated, but think of others as you would wish to be thought about. Because that basically ingrains into your character. So basically, if you are bad-mouthing them to some people and to other people you're not bad-mouthing them, then basically you're in your subconscious, that's been imprinted into your subconscious mind, and you now kind of have like this weird kind of split personality. You don't want to be inconsistent with the way that you speak about someone, because that still could get relayed in some way, or you could end up slipping up in the future, if you kind of catch my drift. So if you're sometimes nagging about them, there might be a time in the future when you start nagging about them to someone who you shouldn't really be nagging about to. Right? So you need to make sure that you are consistent with what you say about your ex, not just to people that know them, but to everybody. So it gets ingrained into your character. So an important thing to keep in mind after a breakup is you want to have a few months after you've broken up to heal. Now, I've seen a lot of times when someone breaks up with another person, sometimes both people do it, or sometimes it's just one. But usually one person goes straight into another relationship, like within weeks of the breakup. You do not want to be that person. You want to be someone who takes time to heal. Now, if you don't like being alone, then I highly recommend that you go and watch this video on how to deal with loneliness. So this can really help you if you are really struggling and you really want to immediately jump into another relationship, because obviously you don't want your next relationship to be a rebound relationship, because those relationships rarely work. And basically, if you take the right time to heal and your ex jumps into a new relationship straight away, you will be holding more integrity, because you'll be doing the inner work. You'll be doing the proper time to heal, because if they have jumped straight into a new relationship, they haven't taken the time to heal. They haven't got over it. They're still going to basically carry the old bad baggage from that relationship straight into a new one. Because basically what you want to do when you come out of a relationship, especially if this relationship was quite toxic and there was a lot of arguing going on, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of jealousy, all these kind of like negative emotions that can happen in relationships, these negative things. Basically, if one person doesn't heal from that relationship and they go straight into another relationship, they're carrying all that baggage, all those bad habits straight into a new relationship. So that's why it's important when you come out of a relationship like that, you need to have time and space to heal about it, to think about it, to get over it, to learn the lessons. And then once you have learned the lessons and you've taken time to heal, your feelings have simmered down and you're in a more calm and relaxed state and frame of mind, that's when you are then ready to get into a new relationship. But please do go and watch that video on how to deal with loneliness, because I think it will really, really help with that kind of situation, and it'll be up there in the cards, so you can go and watch that as soon as this video is over, or you can pause this video and go and watch that one now. But please do, because I think that video is really, really important on how to actually heal from a relationship, so you don't carry those old baggages back into a new one. And then when you do, and when you have healed over that and you don't mind being alone, that's when you can start dating again. And basically the best way to tell if you are over it and if you are really ready to date again is if you want a relationship but you don't need a relationship, and you'll feel ready basically when you no longer feel lonely. Because if you're using someone to make you, if you're using a relationship to not make you feel lonely, or you're using it as a band-aid to give you validation, basically to cover up any wounds that you have, and you're using this new person or an old person, whatever, to make you feel good about yourself because you feel like you're missing parts of you, then you're not ready. You shouldn't be using people as band-aids to make you feel better about yourself. You need to feel better about yourself first before you enter a relationship. And that was my video on how to make your ex jealous. If you would like to get coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. On the shop page of that website, you'll be able to find a free PDF download, which is a dating and relationships manual. If you do read that PDF, then please let me know if you have any critiques, or if you have anything you'd like me to add to it, so I can make it the best product possible for those people that want it. Thank you so much, and I shall talk to you again soon. Goodbye, guys.